Okay. Have you started?
Nope. All right. Welcome back to the Felt on the Jay and Sierra Poker Show.
Hello.
And we just got back from a trip out west to Las Vegas, Nevada. Great time. Had stayed at the Wynn, played some poker. But then this happened.
Shane and JW23, Shane and JW23.
So you're going to slide it out in front of the camera.
Okay.
Slowly.
Slow.
Here we go. Here we go. $200.
$200 bucks.
All right. Why did that?
Sierra hit her first straight flush and got to pull a card at the Venetian. Talk us through that real quick. How did that hand go? What was going on?
I had 6-9 of diamonds in late position, and we got to talk about positions and stuff. So late position, everybody limped in. Don't like 6-9 of diamonds. Guess what I did? Limped in. The river came the 10 of diamonds, and now we're just heads up. For some reason, I guess people just folded. They just saw the flush, and I bet $20, and the opponent, which was the button, she folded. And I turn over 6-9. But in my head, I was like, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, so there was an 8. Sorry, not a 5, 8. Sorry, see? Babe, remembering my hands. And I kept counting in my head. I was like, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like diamonds. I can't believe it. And I won the best hand. And it held.
Yep.
And I got to draw.
Yeah, so we drew, and the top prize was $5,000. The minimum prize was $100, so you got $200.
I got $200.
It was just a fun.
It was a great time, and I got a free hat and free cards. So it was a women's meetup game.
And during that women's meetup game, we met the person that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Good old Vixen Poker. You were sitting at the same table with her, got to watch her play, made some friends. And she asked us to review one of her hands.
Yeah.
So I went back and found some of her hands she had played in the past, and I pulled one of the more interesting ones. But overall, just watching her hands, not only is her play good, but she has an advantage at the table, and she utilizes it a lot better with table talk and personality and charisma. And
just like me.
I mean, she's getting these guys to tell her basically exactly what they have before the cards are on their back. So overall, I was impressed. But today we're going to put you in the mind of Vixen Poker, and see if you can also make the same decisions that she makes.
Got it.
Are you ready?
Girl power.
Girl power. Here we go. All right, here we are at the Lodge Card Club in Austin, Texas. Vixen Poker is down there playing a 5-10 game. In this hand, Vixen Poker, I know it's tough to see here with all the cards on the table, but we are going to raise with 2-3 of diamonds.
Okay, what position are we in?
We are in the low jack, which is one off from the high jack, which is one off from the button. Okay. So later position. Later position, yes. So it comes to her, and she decides to put in a raise with deuce 3 of diamonds. What are your thoughts?
Did anybody else raise?
Nope.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
You're fine with the deuce 3 suited raise.
I don't like it only because I'm a novice player.
Okay.
So, remember when we were in Danville at the Caesars, I started playing hands like that more because I was more confident at the table. Again, as a novice player, don't recommend it. She's way better than I am. So
yeah, and it could be a lot going in here. Maybe she picks up that the table is being too passive, and she could pick up some money here, win post flop.
And does she have a reputation already at the table, playing, like higher hands and stuff like that? So when your reputation is set for being more of a tight player, then you can start putting in raises with stuff like this because they're already going to put you on a range of your ace jacks, your kings, queens, really high suited connectors.
So I think
pocket pairs.
the on the surface, the deuce three of diamonds, not a great hand.
No.
But there's other dynamics that come into play that can make this a good play. Is the point. So she decides to raise it to 75 with her deuce three of diamonds. She's gonna get some tagger alongers, and we're gonna get to see a flop here.
Okay.
All right, ace, deuce, jack on the flop. It's gonna check around to us. What are your thoughts?
I am the pre-flop aggressor. I am bottom pair. I am going to lead out a bet here, and I don't want to call it a continuation bet, even though that's what it is. I'm repping that I have a piece of this pot here, so hoping that my opponents put me on the range that they.
Yeah, it all makes
Yes,
sense, right?
right?
You raise pre-flop, big cards came out of
Yeah.
the flop. Makes sense you have big cards, right? So yeah, everything right in
Because I hate
line.
it when they call it a continuation bet, but
Vixen Poker agrees with you. She
Okay.
also identifies the same thing. So she does kind of a small-ish bet here to 75 relative to the pot. But I think that it's a very dry board. So I think the 75 accomplishes
nothing.
about the same as a bigger bet would,
Okay.
right? Because it's a dry board. You're going to get called by an ace, whether you bet 75, whether you bet 500.
Okay.
So I think that's a totally fine bet in this case because there's no real draws out there. Gutters out there, sure, but so a smallish bet there, I think is fine. So she gets called here on the button, actually. And as you can see, the other guys, one's got a gut shot, he calls. The other guy's got a pair of jacks, and he calls. You can see I do not have their hands blurred out, so I guess you can assume what happens to their hands in the future. All right, 3 of old clubs there.
Nice.
All right. So then we end up with bottom 2 pair here. It's going to check back around to us.
I'm going to continue betting, continue firing.
Yeah, sure.
What's the bet size? Now we got to think about bet sizing here. What's going to get me heads up?
So we got about $600 in the pot, I think. So what size are you betting here?
$400.
Okay. I think that's fair. Your hand did improve, right? So now you want those ace 10 hands, ace 9, ace 8 hands to call. And it's highly likely one of our opponents has one of those hands and we're beating those now. So now we can up the size a little bit. We're more confident with our hand. And we can do that. So yeah, I'm okay with $400 here.
Were you supposed to blur out the other stuff?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's one that I have blurred out.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so Vixen ends up betting. What did she put in there?
350.
350.
So right around what I was
Yeah,
going to say.
close to what we say. So
Half pot.
here's our button guy counting out some chips. He's gonna call. All right. All right. Everybody else is gonna fold.
Okay.
All right, heads up, which was what we wanted. Let's see what comes. All right, blank 6 of spades on the river, and it's on us. What do we do? What range are we putting him on? How much money can we bet to get that range to either call or fold, or what are we doing here?
Wow, this guy. I want to know what he has, but we can't, obviously, because
that would be cheating.
That would be cheating. I want X-ray glasses.
So what do you do in this spot? You got bottom 2 pair. obviously a lot of hands
Yep.
beat you,
Mhm.
but pretty strong hand.
Yeah, it
Maybe
is
get
a
some value
pretty
out of it.
strong
So,
hand here.
What do you think? And it's I think something of note here. Really under-repped hand, right? Because
really
you
is.
raised pre-flop. Nobody's putting you on deuce 3 here.
So here we go. Here's an idea. I really don't know. I really can't put him on a range. I have him on an ace X hand.
Okay.
That's the only thing I could put
Makes
him on
sense.
here. Ace X something.
Yeah, so I think some dynamic, and that's exactly what I would put him on
Yeah.
too. Just an ace 10 or less because he
yeah.
didn't raise again
Right,
pre-flop.
right.
So because I would not view him slow playing a hand
Mhm.
because those other players were in the pot,
Right,
right?
right.
So who knows what kind of weird draws or stuff that they have that you just don't want to get sucked out on with a
Mhm.
strong hand, like if the guy had ace jack.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think I'm putting him on just an ace 2. So I'm gonna bet for some value here
Okay.
also.
Oh, you're gonna bet value?
Yeah. So
I am. Okay, so I'm gonna make a pot size bet then. What's the
you're gonna
pot?
bet big? I think it's
Yeah.
about 1,200. I did a bad job and cut it off
Okay.
there at the bottom, but I think it's about 1,200
Okay, I make a pot size bet.
pot
here.
size bet, and I think
could
that's totally
probably
fair.
Overbet it.
I
too.
think
don't
that's
know.
totally fair. So this is where some of the dynamic I was talking about prior comes into play too,
Okay.
with her ability to table talk. and
Yeah,
come
because I was
into-
gonna say, I was like, when does she do it?
I left it in here so we can listen to the master here
Okay.
and see how people respond to her too,
Mhm.
and open up to her and talk more.
Because
and
I
see
do a
if
little
that's-
bit of table talk. I do a little bit of my southern draw,
All right.
and I'm not talking southern right now, but I could if you want me to.
All right. So I'm gonna you bet.
I make a pot size
You
bet
bet
here.
pot size. Let's see what she decides.
Okay.
Did you like Wenatchee other than
All right. So she
$600
bet
it looks like from Vixen.
half size pot.
Yeah.
All right. So our
Little
villain
under
there
half
is
size pot
staring her
bet.
down.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? Looks comfortable. Looks uncomfortable.
He's just thinking. I don't think he's uncomfortable.
All right. He moves all in.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
All in.
All right. So before I play the rest of this, now we got a decision. He just went all in for I think about 3K.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Easy
So in
call.
her case, so you're snap calling.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what
Let's
old
see if I'm wrong.
Vixen does.
Okay,
here.
let's see her table.
I'm
talk
just going to
first.
let the rest of this play
Okay.
out here, and then we'll talk about it in the end.
Okay.
So I sped this up right here because she's thinking for a while.
Mhm.
So I sped all this up, but then the table talk will come here in a second. Yeah, I think it's a tough decision. So
Yeah.
So
You can't be the straight, right?
Slick said the same
You
thing,
can-
and it was funny because I
You
was
can't
like,
be the
hey,
straight.
that's him.
there's
Not
Franklin.
be
He's like,
straight.
oh, I wish I would have known.
Yeah,
I'm like, bro,
only chop.
no, I hit him up.
I didn't tell nobody.
So do you have a straight?
He still got a little
I've been
piece.
so busy the last couple weeks.
50%.
Yeah,
50% chance you have a straight.
Anytime I'm not
And
here,
what is the other
I'm
50%?
Relax.
I hear you. I wanted to try it for myself, and the only way I could really do
Ace,
it was to
jack,
pre-order it.
You did the
deuces,
Yeah, and when you
queen,
pre-order,
king.
you have to buy 5 pounds. But it was like, that's a no-brainer. Just
Yeah.
get it and then bring the rest here.
Yeah, the staff loved
King
it.
Queen.
Whenever I order from Franklin's, I always do the pre-order.
Yeah.
Same stuff.
Yeah,
And she's
the
very
line
young,
was
by the way.
deep
Wait.
Yeah.
when I pulled in.
Go
Yeah,
right in. See ya.
yeah. And it was
King
good.
Queen.
It was good barbecue for sure.
Why did you say King Queen?
I got a buddy who orders the Franklin brisket and some other stuff, and
I know your hand.
What?
he makes his own
I
type
saw your hand on the camera.
brisket.
Okay.
Tacos,
What do I have?
special
Ace king.
sauce and some other
Yeah.
stuff he puts
Ace
in.
king?
Yes.
He's
I
got
bet
these
that's
taco
No, no, ace king.
recipes that are
amazing.
Ace queen, ace king, nothing else.
Nothing else.
Falcao
I
is
can flip it.
talking.
Ace queen, ace king. Ace queen.
Maybe
ace king.
you shouldn't be talking,
If you flip
Falcao.
one of these and it's not ace, queen, or jack, would you flip one? You pick an 8, not
No,
something that's not an
no,
ace, queen, or jack.
Because if I flip one card, maybe it's not good for me.
It could be.
No, if I have a king or a deuce or an ace, everything I have, it's bad for me. If I saw you 4 or 5 or deuce or jack or ace or king, you understand many things.
I think this is a good deal.
No,
You don't think so?
I never made deals with women, never. Never.
I think it's a great deal.
You never been married?
I am married.
Oh.
Good laydown from Vixen.
So now. So that's how.
What did he have?
She lays it down. He had a set of twos.
Twos, so it could be-
Flopped
he
a
said it
set
could be a
of twos. Yeah. Slow played it the whole time and tried to go for it on the river, and Vixen sniffed it out. And good fold on her part. That would have been a tough fold for me to make. You said you snap called. So she
would've
was
lost,
able,
yeah.
she was able to sniff it out and fold. But I watched his hand live, and one, the fact that he just started talking to her, what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Right? She's had that reputation at the table as
Yeah.
being a fun social person. And so when she has a decision to make, he starts talking to her. And she was able to start gleaning information about his hand.
I get that all the time. I get it.
Does that happen to
all
me?
the time.
No, it doesn't.
No, because
No.
you're big and
No,
scary.
it doesn't.
You're big and scary. And I'm just like a little Southern, like don't know anything
Yep.
about poker.
I think that's such an advantage.
And what
Such
do you
an
do for
advantage.
work? And
Yep.
you're so adorable.
So, and just the hand before this, she was able to get another guy to show him. She had another decision on the river, and she talked to him enough. And the guy was flipped one of his cards, and then she was able to, oh, well, you have that. I fold. Like
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
it happened 2 big pots.
But he was trying to backtrack a little and say that he was on a draw, kind of make it seem like he was on some kind of draw.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. The announcer even said, like, maybe you don't want to be talking right now, man. So, yeah, I don't know what he was doing. He obviously wanted a call.
He did.
So I don't know why he was talking to her while she was thinking about it. But I thought that was a great part of her game. One, the fold, right? Great fold. And two, the advantage she has over the table just by her personality and who she is. So, and that's an edge. That's an edge you should exploit at the table like that.
Yeah.
So, good play on her part. Cool hand all around. Just, with the raise with the deuce 3 starting, you hit 2 pair and you're able to get away from it when these guys start talking to you and stuff. So, cool hand overall. You got to play with her. Now you guys are friends.
We're not friends.
BFFs. So maybe we'll get to play with her again. But after watching her videos, I'm probably a little scared to play with her now. But yeah, I thought it was cool. Cool hand. And we'll probably be talking more about her in the future.
Okay.
So until that future comes around, we'll see ya.